this movie's more insulting than The Phantom Menace. That is all.
This movie has similarities with The Phantom Menace.
Except it sucks more.
Really?
Yes.
Where's the Jar Jar in this one?
They brought back Darth Maul.
Spoilers. If you want to just get that right out the way, we'll have to put it in the title. All right, Dan, what do you not like about Solo?
Everything!
Start with something. Pick one.
It's not Han Solo.
Okay.
I never thought it was Han Solo. I don't like how this movie's like, oh, what's gonna happen next? I know what's gonna happen next! He dies in
Dan.
Sorry. Too far.
Yeah, fix it.
Yeah.
No, I set it up. You can do the rest.
I don't like that it takes every turn it can to try and create suspense when I already know. I already know! Oh, is Chewbacca in this? I wonder what's going to happen. Beckett told them not to trust anyone because you'll just get betrayed. I wonder what's going to happen. Oh, you should be careful about her because she's only going to survive. I wonder what's going to happen.
This movie was the Star Wars. It was Han Solo. Remember that?
The whole time.
Remember this?
I hate how they tried to ram those freaking dice down her throat.
See, like, we knew where Rogue One was going, but there was still a little bit of uncertainty with it. Whereas this... This was literally like every single step of the way you had to go, oh, that's from this.
No, because I remember as soon as
where does it start?
Nobody's said a word in this film, and then Han Solo throws those lucky dice on his
the dice
mirror, and Dan audibly cringes. He goes, "Oh my god!"
Well, Dan audibly cringed and flipped off the projector screen multiple times.
Yeah, because it was insulting to my intelligence. At least like the Phantom Menace, or even Attack of the Clones. It's trying to create something. Like, we know the end goal is Anakin Skywalker is going to be Darth Vader, and this is like this character building into that. But what do I take away from this? What is anyone supposed to look at this and be like, oh, that was really clever. I really like that.
How would you compare
the Cthulhu scene?
Yeah. Oh
god. That was just hilarious.
All right, let's dissect this.
How would you compare
to
it?
End.
Okay, but first,
how
would you compare it to The Last Jedi? Did you?
I don't know yet. I have to dissect it. That's why I'm saying, how do you feel that Solo was a last-minute name idea by an Imperial general, and that his name was just Han?
That's the least
And then at the last second, he said,
movie.
"What's your people? I don't have a people." Okay, then Solo.
Okay.
I mean,
why
obviously,
did you say, what's your last name?
He doesn't have one?
I mean, if I wanted to get like really technical and nerdy, I could be like, so wait, does that mean that the Star Wars humans have the same linguistic system that we do? So they had a Latin, a Greek, a Mesopotamian. Like I get
hounds.
that. At least Solo was just like, ooh, that sounds pretty cool.
My next big red flag with the movie was the sudden 3-year time jump. He gets like, oh no, I lost my girlfriend, but I need to run, so I'm going to join the Imperials. And then 3 years later, and I'm like, wait, that's a pretty large leap. Like, a person can very much change in 3 years.
How long did you go to the pilot academy thing?
Oh no,
how many times was he murdering? Was he helping the? That was the problem I was discussing with Wyatt on the drive back to Chico. Is that there was the whole plot of this movie is him helping
Darth Maul,
the Empire.
Get gas.
The whole plot of the movie is we need to find these crystals so that we can get paid and get a ship. What are those crystals for? A Sith Lord. The whole movie is Lando, Han, and these extra characters that end up not mattering, and Chewbacca, all helping the Empire. Mm-hmm. That's the plot. They don't tell you that till the end, but I kept going like, well. Vision, who's in this movie, is, by the way, like, he's like, well, I don't even want to tell you who I serve.
What was his organization?
I serve someone else.
Crimson Dawn, correct?
Crimson Chin from
Fairly
Odd Parents.
So it was Crimson, Crimson Dawn?
So does this mean that in that 3-year time jump, Han was working for the Imperials, killing people, fighting for their military, fighting... potentially enslaving people on like Tatooine, because the Empire's bad, right? We're supposed to see the Empire ships and think that's bad. This guy wasn't on his first mission. No. Finn from Force Awakens, he'd never been in combat before.
His first mission.
That was his first mission, and he defected.
Yes.
Han has been in the military for 3 years.
And has he had this opinion for 3 years?
Yeah, and then at the last second, he's just like, by the way, we're the hostiles here. We're invading their
Does
planet.
this guy not know how fascism works?
Well,
But I just mean, like, has he never
probably not.
questioned authority for the whole 3 years?
I mean, would he be...
I was saying, why? Like, it felt like a 3-week time jump.
Yes.
It didn't feel like 3 years.
It would have made more sense if it said 3 weeks. You know,
Yeah,
hey,
3 weeks later, he's like, "Oh, I've been undercover
Yeah,
for
I was
a
a
little
pilot
while."
for a week. I couldn't follow instructions. Then they sent me here. This is my first mission. That would have been.
That would have explained everything.
much
Instead,
more
it's
sense.
like, so Han has been helping the Empire because he needed to escape for this long.
Mm-hmm.
Then just suddenly decided to defect in 3 years, and then he meets his old girlfriend. I'm
What's
blanking
her
on her
name?
name.
It's... Who
Amelia
cares?
Clark.
Amelia Clark.
It's Daenerys.
and how did she get mixed up with the Red Crimson?
We still don't know.
Never explained.
They don't. They're just like, I can't tell you, and
They,
it's
they
like,
just picked her up. Just,
Yeah, you
just
can.
Say, just say.
She's
He picked me up.
he happened to be here
in-
at this party.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. He said I needed servants. Okay. They
Well,
branded
that-
my arm. Okay.
What does
and
that
I'm
mean?
Here.
Why did?
I served Darth Maul.
I got a name for him, but I can't say here.
And then Hans says, "Who?" He's like he used to be a Sith Lord. Don't worry about it.
So, the Chewbacca meeting scene kind of threw me off because it was like,
subpar than the Martha scene in Dawn of
well,
Jedi.
it was subpar because everyone knew exactly what was going to happen.
Yeah.
rather
Like,
watch-
throw him to the beast, and we were like, ooh, the Rancor.
Oh yeah, I was thinking either
Right.
Rancor or Chewbacca. Then
And they're like, oh, Chewbacca's here. And then we got, I think, my first... I was confused throughout the beginning of this movie.
Oh yeah, the
The Wookiee
beginning
scene
by
was my
far the
first
weakest.
cringe.
The
Wookiee scene was when I started going...
When he started going...
the first
that
30
has
minutes of-
never happened.
The first
Yeah.
30 minutes of this film.
Anytime
by far
you've
the
talked to a
weakest.
Wookiee in Star Wars, especially Han Solo, who's supposed to be a cool guy, like epic,
It's
you know, like...
always been in just English.
He just talks in straight English and Chewie understands him because we established that Wookiees understand English.
Yes.
We all know that.
But no, I gotta.
But
speak
instead,
Wookiee, 'cause-
Han Solo, in order to convince an evil beast to stop beating him to death, goes... Grrr.
Also,
Like-
never talks Wookiee again the entirety of the
Oh
movie.
yeah.
Nope.
By the way, this is a big plot point because he's like, no, stop, hey, and he keeps beating him, and then he says, oh, I speak Wookiee. The second they get out of there,
No
all
more.
of a sudden Wookiee understands English. He now he's like, oh, we have to go help my friends, and he's
It's
like,
no-
No,
Okay.
after that scene, a non-Wookiee never speaks Wookiee ever again.
It's made better by the fact that after, like, there's a later point in the movie where they're flying through like this whatever the hell. I don't even care.
the cloud
This
planet.
gaseous
Sure,
cloud.
yeah, the
the
Cthulhu
parcel.
folk.
The parcel.
Parts
Parse-
the spice
anyway,
mines.
The Kessel.
The Kessel.
Han's all surprised, like, when'd you learn to fly? And he's like, it's like 190. Like, I'm like, okay, so wait. Not only was he in this pit for some reason, which nullified his senses to where he doesn't know English, you're telling me that. What?
When did Han learn how to fly?
I don't know.
He kind of just
He
like
never
gets
made
in-
his Imperial Academy, like.
He kind of just like he was like, I'm gonna be a pilot, and then they cut to him being infantry.
Yeah, because he can't follow orders, as usual.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Because I
know-
got a brain of my
Like-
own. Yeah, military.
So he just like
that.
he ends up getting in the plane. So it's like, did they not let him be a pilot because he was bad at it, or because they just thought
because
he
he
was a
can't
bad
follow
person?
orders.
Don't you get like defected?
Well, I mean, no, they'll use it. I think if you can't
I
follow
mean,
orders,
Can I
they'll
have
put
that
you
to
in the
put on my
hole.
head?
He
Please?
just don't throw it.
I won't throw
he
it.
just
I'm not gonna throw
instantly-
a precious liquid.
He just instantly like
This is
knows how
coaxium
to
right here. I'm not gonna throw
perfectly
it.
fly. And he's like, "Hey, you're a good pilot." And then these Kylo Ren looking bounty
What- what-
people.
Yeah,
what
I
are
thought
they
that
What are they called?
Scavengers.
This is my next problem with the film. Those scavengers that are going after him, they start killing Woody Harrelson's best friend, and
The
they
four-armed
kill
gentleman.
the 4 or 6. He had a lot of arms,
Six? I thought it was whatever.
and I didn't.
Either way,
I was
It doesn't
okay with it
matter.
because he was
in
a
the movie for
weird.
20 minutes.
He was
It
a
doesn't
weird
matter.
character.
I was kind of like,
He
you know
was-
what? That's the only likable character.
yeah,
And in
but
a movie where
really,
there's Han
he-
Solo,
he
I
was-
should not
No,
say that.
He was confusing.
He was
They're all
confusing.
confusing.
No.
He
This
had the
character.
best voice acting of any character in this film.
No, I mean, he was like, oh, don't tick off a Wookiee, they'll kill you. But then he also says, man, you'll never sleep as good as you do in the lap of a Wookiee.
At least then that kind of creates a story. Like, okay, so this guy has seen some stuff. I can kind of respect
Is
this.
this guy 100,
That's-
180
no,
years
that's-
old too?
I was
No, he's probably
confused. I'm like,
double
are Wookiees like deadly bears or are they cuddly bears?
Yes.
Because
Can
this
be.
guy has said both.
Haven't you met Chewbacca? Of
Do we need
course
to
he's a-
picture this guy cuddling in the lap of Chewbacca?
I imagine when he was younger and smaller, he could have curled in the.
Why did the Wookiees?
Why is there a droid that suddenly cares about other droids?
That was too on the nose.
Did they really need to bring back Gwendolyn Christie for this?
Did anyone else laugh at Donald Glover crying over like a piece of metal?
Nope.
I laughed at that.
Okay, so
That's my point.
Okay.
I thought it was funny to see Donald Glover go, "No, L3, no." Meanwhile, episode 4, they're like, "Oh, let's just buy a couple of these. Oh, this one just died. Let's get another
Yeah,
one."
droids have been like historically slaves. Basically.
Yes, it's because they're equipment. Just
Yeah.
because they are sentient, it doesn't make them like they're built. I thought like this isn't. Are you going for like we all need equal rights? Then establish that with like an alien race.
Okay, I think
Phantom Menace had actual slaves in it.
Wait, we need to make a cutoff point right here. Okay, in case
What?
we go too far.
What?
In case we get far too political.
Okay.
We need to make this for the point of no return.
All right,
Okay?
let's make a point.
Right
Okay.
here. Okay. So, I felt nothing but relief when that.
Yeah, me
Yes,
and
died.
you and me both.
I felt nothing
L3
but relief
died,
when
and we
she
were like,
died. I was
"Oh,
like,
thank
I'm
God."
glad you guys felt some relief because I was just like, God!
No, we were like, "No, thank God they don't have any more lines." And then they were like, "Let's plug it into the Millennium's mainframe."
you know what I think?
And I was like, "Oh no!"
I know. As soon as it happened, I was like, "Oh God, she's gonna start talking to the Millennium Falcon."
I know. I was like, "No, don't talk again."
and happily she didn't. But
Like-
but
No, I mean,
you know what I think?
It
you know what
doesn't-
I think they had
it
to reshoot
doesn't-
90% of the
okay,
movie?
like,
'Cause
even if you're
Kathleen Kennedy wouldn't add her in.
really, you didn't think that felt tacked on a little bit, just a little.
I think
No, I
that-
just mean, even if you want to make a point, even if you're trying to like, without getting political, it's like even if you're just trying to say that we need more equal rights for everyone, great message, sure.
They're robots.
We agree with
build
that.
them.
That's equipment.
Yes, they are
We have
tools.
we have established
They are
in the
quite
Star Wars
literal
universe that there
tools.
are actual human biological slaves.
Yes.
Focus on those.
The last in episode 8.
In Phantom
they have
Menace.
children.
Yes, that are
They have
enslaved.
children slaves. Episode 1.
If-
Anakin's a
Look,
GD slave.
Oh.
Phantom Menace was already kind of stupid because the Jedi didn't do anything about
No,
slaves.
they-
Now we
they
care
were
about the
diplomats.
robots' rights?
Yeah, really.
Do you want to
You
get
happy
Siri
right now?
rights?
Movie and made Wyatt express himself.
Alexa can sneak in and record your conversations and send them to random people. Should Alexa have rights? Should Alexa be able to vote?
Should every once in a while Alexa just says, "No, I don't want to do that." No.
You'd be like,
I'd be like, "Don't do that. That's stupid."
do you plug in your Alexa and have it say, "Give me equal rights"?
No.
That's not interesting. That's not like... There's other ways you could have gone about delivering that message. On top of this, you don't need politics in the Star Wars.
I think like the definition
Ugh.
of like the robot or an android is something to help human.
It's a tool, yes.
It's a tool.
The fact that it talks does not make it have a soul.
No, it's a robot.
It's a
It
robot.
was added there.
And in
Purely
terms
for-
of continuity with the rest of the Star Wars franchise, they never care about the robots.
One
Like
blows up in Luke's face, and he's like, "Ah, man,
Episode 1.
no one cares
Literally,
about these
literally.
things."
He's like, that was $20.
In
Yeah.
episode 1, they're literally like being shot off the ship, and they're just like, "Oh shoot."
Remember the scene
a
where
shame.
he's being introduced to C-3PO? He kind of jokingly introduces himself.
Mm-hmm.
C-3PO's like, "My name is C-3PO," and Luke's like, "Hello."
Yeah.
You know, he's just kind of jokingly like, "Okay, let me talk to you. Whatever, you're
Yeah,
a robot.
really.
You're not." And then in this one, it doesn't make chronological sense that these smugglers, these people who barely have morals for each other, would suddenly have feelings for machinery.
Dan, do you want to actually look up and see if the voice of
I would love.
It wasn't. It
I would
wasn't.
love to
It wasn't?
ram my
No.
face into a spike.
I can
right
tell
now.
it wasn't.
what
It
you,
was-
What did you think of Woody Harrelson's character?
I didn't
it was
care.
it was incredibly flat.
I was just like, he's gonna betray him in the end, isn't he? And guess
I
what?
thought-
He did.
Well,
I thought his
Yeah.
acting was awful.
Yes, his acting.
Did
Yeah,
you notice
it was
some
awful.
of his lines?
There was a scene when they were on the train thing. Where
Yeah,
it was
the
just,
double
it
train.
was just, man, they're gonna never.
They're never gonna
live
let
this
me down for that.
Yeah, they're never gonna let me live this one down. And then I can imagine
Both
Ron
me and
Howard
Wyatt
going,
looked at each other and was like,
I can imagine
that
Ron,
shot again.
Yeah, I can imagine Ron Howard going, "Okay, do that one more time." Except
"Try that for real now, okay?"
man, they're never gonna let me down for that one.
Yeah,
You know,
it was
something-
like completely. And then in the next scene, well, several scenes later, he's
He-
again.
he-
This is
he-
another one of those scenes where they're like, "Remember the Millennium Falcon
he's on
gun?"
the Millennium Falcon.
And it's like, guys, not only did we do this in 4, 5, and whatever in the originals, you did this in 7, you did this in 8. You've already established that's like, oh, there's the little. Now it's getting to
It
the
has
point.
4 guns.
4 movies into the new saga, we're like, okay, Woody wants a turn on the turret. Woody's like, man, I want to play with the Millennium Falcon gun. Let's film me playing with it. And now everyone's like, oh, Ray's been on it. Finn's been on it. Now Woody's on it. Everyone's getting a turn. Let everyone have a try.
Yeah.
And yeah, the acting was either stale or not close enough,
was drunk.
or too much like an impression. Like Donald Glover, I feel like was doing an old man voice.
He sounded like he was doing a southern, like a southern.
I think he was trying too hard to imitate Lando.
Yes.
And
He
Alden,
broke out into
what's the guy who plays Han?
I don't know, but the first syllable in it is eh.
Yeah,
That's how I felt about his entire being in this movie.
Alden, I don't think was close enough to Harrison Ford.
No, his face is far too square.
And he just says things that Han Solo wouldn't say.
Except when they...
When you think of Han Solo, do you think of, we already have the best pilot? Me.
Yeah, he says...
Noticeably dorky.
He says wrong things, except for when they rip them directly out from episode 4, 5, and 6.
I didn't get the whole... I have a great feeling about this.
I've been like...
I was like, well, okay, first of all, I know that's the exact opposite of what he says later, but I thought the point of this movie was to be an arc. Yeah. To show him go from awkwardly to cool and smart. And I didn't feel like
how he's supposed to go from that awkward guy to the,
yes,
the guy sitting in the bar just, waiting.
Keeping his head down.
Yeah.
And in this one, he was kind of dorky, awkward all the way through.
Yes, he was always this.
There were too many
the lovable oof,
There were too many times I think where you knew exactly what was going to happen.
Yeah, because I watched The Force Awakens.
No, because you've seen Star Wars.
I've seen episode 4,
because
5, and 6.
I've seen every other movie on the planet.
Because we are humans, we have seen Star Wars. And when they say things, when you're at gunpoint and Han shoots first, everyone in the theater goes.
At the premiere at the premiere of this film,
guys, Han shot first.
At the premiere of this film, when that scene happened, a wave of
around the world,
a wave of that scene appeared, and everyone at the same exact time thought Han shot first. He shot first. There was a little there was a little whisper in the air.
Well,
and oh god.
Okay, there was the Han shot first things. There was the
I wanted fair and square.
Oh yeah, I wanted fair and square. That was the other problem I was going into. So the plot is we need to help this evil guy because he's being employed by an even eviler guy. We need to get him the crystals, the power that he needs, so that we can get paid and buy a ship.
He needs gas for his ship.
That's the plot.
That's the plot.
Han wants a spaceship.
Han wants his...
and he doesn't get it.
Nope.
And then at the end, he just ends up winning it.
Yeah, because he wanted fair and square.
Because Lando actually cheated.
Yeah, Lando cheated, and then Han's like,
we're
friends, and then he steals his Sabat card.
Space poker.
Space poker. Why couldn't they just say poker?
Because when they put the cards down, I'm like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, really.
I can't tell.
Really, just call it poker with.
Oh, didn't you feel weird with the blue text at the beginning?
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of extra reading.
That was different.
That was
a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
By the
there
way,
was a place where it was in the same font. It was there's a place in which this place really sucks, and it's ruled by a big caterpillar lady.
Yeah,
who doesn't like sunlight,
yeah.
So she's powerful.
The thermal detonator. It's a rock.
Oh yeah, the thermal detonator thing. It's like, hey, that's from
episode 5 or
6.
My favorite character in this film was Chewbacca. Why? Because all he said was. That's all he said.
Well, he just played I think Chewie plays a good sidekick to a sidekick.
Yeah, Chewie was a good helper.
I don't know if he makes a good actual supporting role.
No, he's a good heavy lifter. That's all he is.
Because when it's just Han interacting with, it's funny in short bursts. But if that's the whole movie, you can't really.
No. The jokes that this film made did not make me laugh. The only part in which I genuinely laughed was when Vision died, because we all said, "Ha! Vision got to die a third time."
3 times in 2 weeks.
Disney has it out for him, I think.
Disney doesn't like that guy.
No, they don't.
What? Just like
they
die
were probably
here.
really mad that they had to see him.
He's like the Sean Bean. of Marvel.
Except he died twice in a much better film.
Yes.
Which,
Oh yes, much better.
like, all right. So now coming back to your question, Wyatt, I'll pass it on to you, Dan. Is this worse or better than The Last Jedi?
Well, I thought The Last Jedi was bad.
Yeah.
But I never wanted to, like, cut my arm.
You never wanted
Really?
to. You never wanted to jump at the screen and
There was no whale nipples in this one.
To be fair, there were no land mammal nipples or oceanic mammals.
It was not humiliating to any original cast members. Warwick Davis made a
Yes,
face.
Warwick
At
Davis
least
was
everyone
a cameo.
who's supposed to be dead is dead. I guess
Yes,
I can
there
come
were-
out and say that.
No,
because
what
that was-
happens to Amelia Clark's character?
Who cares?
Were they like? Why were they hinting with a prequel about a sequel that we know has nothing
Because
to do
Darth
with it?
Maul is gonna be the bad guy of Episode 9.
Oh no!
It's
Wait.
gonna be Ben Swallow versus Cyborg Maul.
So wait, that's a large time jump.
Oh yeah.
You're jumping from.
He's gonna be
You're
old.
jumping from before Rogue One,
Mhm. He's gonna be old.
past 7, past 8.
Maul. He's gonna be old Maul.
Old Maul with robot legs.
Yeah,
I want you to take this and shove it to my brain.
I'm done throwing things.
Dan.
This isn't.
We
This
need to
isn't
calm
throwing.
down.
This is.
I want
pushing.
you to use your words and explain to me what's wrong here.
Everything is wrong with
That's
this.
specifically.
Every conceivable
Okay.
step that was taken to make this movie, from the writing to the production to the post-production to the costumes to the set design, all of it,
Which
of it needs to be burned on the highest
Which
peak.
scene disappointed you the most?
Every scene.
No,
You can't. Stop saying every.
One specific scene.
I thought the production value of it was okay.
The first one. The first scene where he throws those stupid dice on that.
Okay, let's talk about
hovercraft
the
man.
dice for a second.
Yeah.
That keeps popping up. What
Why
is
are they
it?
trying to establish this?
Because it was important in Episode 8.
No.
Was it?
Look. In episode 8, they reference the dice as like, oh, remember those times?
Yes.
In this one, like, if you want to have like a memorable item or object or something, you want to have some memory with it. Like
Right.
maybe his dad gave it to him, or
Yes.
maybe
Really?
his girlfriend gave it to him, and that's how they remember it.
could've-
Okay,
Explain
like when Lando and Han were talking about how, hey, my dad used to build these ships. Include a little tiny flashback of
Yeah, I was about to say, like, wait, talk more
of
about Han's dad.
About Han's dad.
We know nothing about
And
this.
then,
Yeah.
like
So Han has people,
yes.
or had.
So he did have people, and yet he said he had no one. And he was like, "Are you close
I
to your old man?"
I
No.
currently have no people. Okay, well you had people, yes. Or were you like Luke, or were you like Anakin Skywalker in Space Jesus?
No, he wasn't.
No, he
There was
wasn't,
no mention of the Force,
which
I thought
there was
you
no,
could have.
There
I
was
mean,
one
you could have.
lightsaber in this movie.
You
There
could have
was
had
one.
someone that says they'll use the Force and then be wrong, and then you could have built up Han's hate for the Force.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was several ways you could have been contextually
like
fluid with the other movies.
in the scene
and
where
they kept throwing it out.
like in the scene where Vision died. I don't know his name. What, do you remember his
General
Paul Bettany. That's the actor's name.
well,
okay,
no,
okay,
the,
what
the
was
character
his
Dryden.
Dryden.
or
You
something
have a
like
good
that.
memory.
My goodness, Dan.
Because
Well
I can't remember
done.
half these
But,
people's
like, okay,
names. I barely remember
how
Han
I would
Solo.
how would I
That's why I'm the most mad here. I'm gonna have to be stuck with this until
how
I
I
die.
would have done it is in the scene where Dryden dies. Like I would have had Amelia Clark like call up Darth Maul while Han was still in the room for some reason.
Why do we want to bring Darth Maul back into the
I don't
limelight?
know. How did he
I know-
survive being cut
He
in
was
half?
he was in the Clone Wars. I get that, and Disney considers the Clone Wars canon. But I was like,
No,
even
even in the Clone Wars, Obi-Wan kills him a second time.
well, that doesn't happen yet. That hasn't happened.
Wait, what?
Oh, that's right. That's after Episode 4.
That's like seconds
Or no,
before.
that's
That's Alec Guinness Obi-Wan.
yes.
But that's not even in Clone Wars. That's in Rebels.
That's
I don't watch these shows, but I know this. But my point was, the reason they added Darth Maul
it's probably 'cause
to
he's
the
cool.
Clone Wars was
He's-
because their ratings were going down,
Oh.
and they needed people to be interested again. I remember the day that aired, and people were like, "He's coming back," and everyone was kind of like, "Well, that doesn't make sense," but okay. And now it's like, you know, that I think about it, it's the exact same strategy. Hey, no one cares about this.
They added him because he's cool.
I don't
needed
care
a
if you
light-
got back Ray Park to get in the makeup chair for
All right,
like
like
12 hours.
I don't thi- it- I
So
don't think
Rogue
it
One
I
was
don't think
cool
him. I don't think
because in the lightsaber scene, it was a brutal murder
yes.
of the best villain
yeah.
in the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
It was just
saga.
everyone
There was-
died.
This one was over hologram, and he turns on his lightsaber for no reason.
He goes, well, you will.
Why not choke her over the?
Yeah, like you will, or
Yeah, we've already established that's possible in Empire.
Yes.
Using the Force in ways that make sense. I don't like.
Yes.
He just turned on his lightsaber, and she's like, "You're not here. I'm not."
She's like, "What are you gonna do to me?"
We still don't know why she got captured, what she did to get there. The ending scene also bothered me because in that ending fight, isn't he about to shoot Dryden? He's about to kill him, and then she stops him.
Yeah.
She's like, "No!" Hits the gun, gets the blaster away, and then she's about to kill him.
And she goes,
and he's
"Nope."
like, she'll do anything for me. She'll do anything.
Yeah,
and she's like, "That's right."
the weakness.
And then she turns around and kills him. And if I were Han, I would have been like, I was gonna do that. You could have helped me out there
really.
instead of scared me half to death.
Yeah.
I was about to shoot him and you stopped me.
Yeah.
This is relationship building.
It was like, we're playing duos, but I want the kill. You can't have the kill.
During that fight,
Yeah.
I was like, okay. At one
I
point,
want the
Amelia
full
Clark's
XP.
gonna. At one point during that fight, I was like, at one point, Amelia Clark's gonna betray him, but then actually betray Dryden. Yeah, I was like, he's gonna betray him and.
But I thought at least she was gonna get stabbed at the last second.
Yeah, I was expecting like
because she's not in the rest of the
then-
franchise.
Like she said, I'll follow you out, or she's like, I'm right behind you. I'm like, oh, she's gonna die. She's gonna.
Yeah, we're like,
right
she's
here.
about to die, and then she didn't.
And then
she
just
flew off.
just flies off. I'm like,
So is there another one of these?
they're gonna make a solo two,
Duo?
a duo.
Why? If they're going to, why?
They left it open.
Why did they
for
leave
some reason?
a
There's
prequel that
probably
takes
gonna be
place?
some BS comic just for the Darth Maul stuff.
So this has to be right before Rogue One,
It's gonna have to be.
or not
because
right before, just a little.
It's gonna
it
have to
can't-
be several
so
years.
It can't be after Rogue One
It cannot.
Naturally.
because that takes place when Han is already on Tatooine and he's older and whatnot. And this,
It
So
happens.
we'll,
It happens
we'll
right
say
before he
this
meets
is like
Jabba.
20 years prior to Rogue One.
It happens right before he meets Jabba. Apparently.
so literally halfway between 3 and 4.
Yeah. Well, no, because he has to do one job for Jabba.
I didn't get their. There was a lot of once again World War II symbolism in the trench
Yeah,
scenes.
yeah. They had that.
And I was like, why don't they have face stormtroopers even in episode
No,
3?
some of them
had
did, and some of them didn't.
No, but some of them had Vietnam looking helmets.
How did Tobias and whatever, how did they get into the battlefield like that? Were they just kind of riding off the chaos?
Yeah, they probably just walked in.
And I mean, I'm imagining there's that one scene where he's like, "Who's the commanding officer? You are, Captain." He's got this chest rig that's got holes in it, and
he's
it's
like,
like,
I'm
so.
a captain.
Did Tobias just strip naked in the middle of a firefight, just get dressed like it was the most normal thing in the world? Because there's no way that just happens.
Probably.
It is Woody Harrelson. But you know what I like in movies? I like knowing what's going on, why it's happening, and why I should care.
And none of that.
And
was
when
happening.
you cut to 3 years later and there's just a war going on, it's like, right, you're helping the Empire. So for all we know, you could just be killing innocent people.
Like there was at least 3 scenes where, okay, here's the plan, cut away, and then
there was literally a
something
scene where he was like,
and break.
we're
and
gonna go
back
have
in.
a plan, and then they're about to discuss the plan, and they literally cut away.
And then
They're like, I wonder what they're talking about.
I wonder what they're talking about. There's a solid 1 minute point of just Amelia Clark's going.
No, no. At the end, they help those Kylo Ren looking scouts because they're like, actually, they're good because they have a face. They put the helmet off, and they're like, oh, it's a person.
No, it's a woman. No,
So it's okay. But I was like, didn't they kill your best friend at the beginning?
No, really, really. Like, okay, we're friends now. Okay.
You still killed my 6-handed friend at the very beginning of this movie, and you tried to kill us several times, and you killed Woody Harrelson's woman. But I mean, I guess he ended up not liking them in the long run. But Han and the other characters, they had no reason to be okay with them all of a sudden.
Really?
Their mindset was literally like, the Empire's hard on us.
Yeah.
Okay.
they're hard on him.
You tried to kill me. I don't.
You've
I
already
don't
killed
care.
me at least twice.
So, overall problem is that it doesn't make sense.
Nothing is salvageable.
The point of elaborating on a pre-existing character is to show us a side that we didn't realize existed.
They're supposed to go
arc.
They're supposed to arc. They're
This
supposed to go.
only showed us what we already knew. We knew about the Kessel Run. We knew he won the Millennium Falcon. We knew he met Chewie.
Yes.
We already knew all that. He didn't elaborate on anything that we didn't already know. This whole movie was just Remember that. Remember that. Remember that. If you watch the Clone Wars, you'll remember Darth Maul.
Darth Maul. Yeah.
But if you don't watch the Clone Wars, the whole audience is just like, what?
Who's this guy with turbo legs?
Yeah. I know a ton of people who didn't watch those shows. They're going to be watching this and go like...
I watched some of the Clone Wars. I stopped before.
Did you know Darth Maul showed up?
I did not.
So if I wouldn't have told you that, you would have been like, what?
I'd be like, no. As soon as I saw him, I'd be like, okay, he just lived. As soon as I saw him in Solo, I was like, okay. Well,
It's like, so where was
he's
he
just
in
back.
episode 2 and 3?
Probably getting his legs built.
Recovering.
So he just had an upper torso
Maybe.
for 10 years?
Yeah, he just
You know how much space
He-
there is between 10 and 3?
he just-
2 and 3?
he just crawled like Sebulba, just everywhere until he got his legs.
He
That's
played
it,
in some
dang.
he played in some pod races and earned
Oh,
up
God.
enough
No,
money to
no,
pay for his legs.
In the opening scene where they're escaping Corellia, I was like, this reminds me of the pod racing scene.
I know
A
it did.
lot. I was like,
Yeah.
this is just a
Like, this is like a suck. Yeah, this is a sucky slow pod racing
Yeah.
scene. So like, if you want people to come back to re-enjoy a character they know and love,
Not this one.
make it that character. Don't make it a completely opposite version of that
Make
character.
him cool at the end. If it's Han
He
Solo,
doesn't even
make
kind of
him
act
cool.
like Harrison Ford.
Ooh.
The only similarity is maybe like the hair.
Yeah.
That's about
And the
it.
fact that he's carrying the same built-on Mauser looking
It's
pistol.
like, yeah.
It was that scene where
God,
Woody Harrelson builds
takes
the
apart
blaster.
rifle and then he throws the blaster. I'm like,
Everyone's like,
it's the blaster, guys. That's his blaster that he uses in 4, 5, 6, 7. Look,
and then they detonate the escape pod on the Falcon.
it's like, oh look, that's what
Look,
happened.
now
Oh,
it
shit.
looks right.
Yeah. Oh look, the cannon's gone. I wonder what they're gonna replace it with.
What'd
The
you
four
think?
guns.
Isn't that like gravity well thing kind of random?
It's surprise black hole or whatever.
Why were they like? I mean, black holes eat whole planets. They were like,
Oh, that scene where they're escaping the black hole is a rip off of
Star Trek.
Trek, the first Star Trek movie.
yeah, they're
I
getting
was
sucked.
thinking Treasure Planet.
It's a
Yeah,
very
that too,
generic
that
scene.
too.
It's a very generic
Really?
scene that's like octopus monster who lives in the sky.
Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Did
been
you
sucked
understand
into
the
a
whole
black
like, why did you eject the escape pod? And then it eats it, and he goes that, and I was like,
hole? Okay.
what did that do?
It's
a gravity well.
It distracted
It was
the
gonna
thing.
suck that thing in regardless. You kind of just.
Because the squid monster.
Or like when they
Was
start
distracted.
opening up the floorboards
I was
to
like,
put stuff down there.
Look,
Oh, that's where they learned the force.
that's where they did the thing.
Oh.
They did the thing.
I was gonna say,
Remember that?
with the way this movie ends, I don't think Lando would be happy to see Han again.
No, I wouldn't.
No, of course he
I
would.
No, if he's like in Empire, he's like, "How you doing, you old pirate? We're best friends." Like, "Oh, I love you." And in this one, he would have hated him. He's like, "I would never want to see you again."
Yeah, really. He literally like before.
He said that.
Yeah, he said I never want to see you again.
And then he
Meets
saw
him
him again.
Hey,
Hey!
we're friends. I'd be like, why are you friends?
Probably because
Why are
he knew
you
that
friends?
Han had him just by the nose hairs.
How did he know where Lando was?
No.
Who knows,
what
man?
did Han
How did he
have,
get there?
What did Han have on Lando?
I don't
when
know.
he met him? He had nothing. He had nothing but Chewbacca.
I mean,
What planet were they on?
to be fair, if I was Lando and I saw Han, I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna go pray real quick before I get executed. Because that was a. I can't say the words.
No. Didn't Lando have like those guards? Wasn't that those guards?
I don't know. I mean, Chewbacca is just pretty much invincible. I think.
Yeah, Chewbacca can apparently.
Okay, so there
If
were.
Peter Mayhew was still kicking.
Here's
the
another
knife,
thing
it
that
was
threw me
not
off.
Peter
That
Mayhew.
was not Peter Mayhew.
I don't care.
Peter Mayhew.
Point being,
Peter Mayhew was barely in Force Awakens.
I don't
But-
think he can stand.
No, he can't. It's very sad.
Yeah,
But,
it's very unfortunate.
But
Rest in peace.
another
Peter.
confusing
He's not
part
dead!
was
He's
when
getting
they were
there!
when they were in the spice mines.
Yeah.
There were other Wookiees.
Sorry.
There were other Wookiees.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Chewbacca was like, "Hey, I gotta go save these Wookiees," and then the Wookiees automatically start helping Han get the
Because Wookiee.
crystals. They're like, "Gah, stop him! Let's move!"
I
And it's
that-
like,
I
why do
that
the
one of
Wookiees
them
care?
patted him on the head.
The Wookiees don't care. They're just like, we're enslaved. Let's
We
leave.
gotta leave.
Oh no, we have to help Darth Maul get his fuel.
Yeah, really. Congratulations.
Thanks, Wookiees.
Congratulations, Wookiee. You played yourself.
And again, this is all hyping up a villain that we know has nothing to do with the end result because We know what happens after that.
Can Darth Maul grow a beard? Because I'm thinking
grow anything.
in episode 9, when he comes back, because he will. When he comes back, is he gonna have this big old black beard?
Wyatt, I don't think he'll be a 9. I honestly don't.
If he does,
I'll give you $10.
Okay, if he does, I'm gonna say I told you so. Give me my $10.
Okay, that's a deal. So like, I don't like it. I don't agree with it. But it's a deal. Like remember that scene where they're like, "I'll show you to my ship," and they're walking up, and I'm like, I wonder what this is. So I leaned over to Wyatt. And they literally show the ship, and then Lando goes, "The Millennium Falcon," and I go,
does that look familiar?
"Oh, that's what ship it is."
No, I lean over to Dan. It's like, does that look familiar to you? What? Where have I seen that before?
See, this is why I say everything, because there's so much about this that's wrong. You cannot separate anything from itself. It's all too
You have to trust.
welded.
You have to be a
This
surgeon.
movie was
Some
nothing
things
but
are
a
just-
nostalgia trip.
No, some things are just too hardwired to be just terrible, all right? It happens with Batman and Robin, Alone in the Dark, The Room. You just can't avoid it sometimes. This is one of those, like...
You can
rare
break it down and
Can you?
explain what's gone wrong. Yes, just like you break down guns, you can break down bad
Dan,
movies.
Dan,
No.
It's very similar.
I think Dan needs to do a couple jump jacks. Before he
Ah!
gets into this.
I think
Do a
Dan
couple
needs
push-ups.
like 3 NyQuils and then...
He takes Benadryl.
Dude, I'm going to wake up in the morning
Extra
still PO'd about it.
I'm gonna wake up with a headache. It's like, oh,
You know what's going to be my dreams tonight? I'm going
scene.
to count... Some people are going to count sheep tonight. I'm going to count every DVD copy of this. I'm going to be using a
George,
You know what I want you to
if I
think
could-
about?
If I could find every bootleg copy of this film,
Smash
I would smash it with the hammer.
George Lucas might say that again with Solo. You know what I want you guys to remember as we're wrapping this up? The scene you need to walk away with is that Han Solo and Chewbacca had a shower scene together in this film where both of them were naked right next to each
Chewie
other.
always naked?
He is hair covering his important bits. But no, Han was. It was a straight up shower prison scene.
Don't you love the Chewbacca Han shower scene?
Oh,
I was looking
God.
forward to that.
Well, that was to please the ladies.
That was
in the room.
that was the most frustrating thing about Episode 7, and I was like, when is Harrison Ford at 80 years old gonna strip down and get in a shower with Chewbacca? That's the image I need in my brain.
Comfortable being together in their 30, 40 plus
minutes.
years together.
Well, no, they actually had a shower together in the first 3 hours they met each other.
Yes. Yes.
You're a bear.
Yeah, you're a big old
Time
hairy,
to have a
you're-
shower.
You're a walking carpet. Let's just hop in the shower together. I'm comfortable with my sexuality.
Kathleen
Cut that
Kennedy.
one out. Cut
What
that
the
one out.
heck? What are you thinking? What is anyone thinking? I'm amazed if people enjoy this.
I have a coworker who's going to, and
How do you know?
I just know. She loves Suicide Squad and Dawn of Justice.
No, there were people in the theater who were like, "Yay,
Yeah,
the
they
movie's
clapped
over!"
it.
I was like,
I was.
"Oh,
the movie's over.
Finally."
I was gonna say the scene where L3 dies was my favorite.
Yes, that
The
was
scene where
that was extremely satisfying.
every scene where they're in peril, I'm like, boy, I
Any
hope they
scene
don't
that
die.
I walked out to go to the bathroom, I
No,
was
like,
really happy
like,
with.
like,
No,
like,
there was a little kid in front of us, maybe 10 or 9 years old, and he was just doing this the whole time. In the Ferguson files that played before this movie, he was dancing with the music.
He was so ready.
He was like,
so ready to
I
like
love
this
Star
film.
Wars. This is great. And
He
then
was-
an hour into it, he was on his phone. He was watching some Roblox gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
He was on his phone, tapping away. And then later he was doing this.
Oh, God.
And he's just like...
I'm sorry, child.
And I was like, if this is for you, right? They're aiming to you, kid.
They want the new generation.
You were in diapers when the prequels happened.
Ryan Johnson literally said, "This isn't for the fans. This is for the new audience." And
New audience doesn't
and
care.
I think it's contracted to the solo.
This was the smallest. I made that point going into it. This was the smallest Star Wars first showing we'd ever seen.
The theater was very empty.
Very empty.
Yeah.
The parking lot was barren. Every Star Wars film before this is always a line out the door.
Rotten Tomatoes was absolutely right. The
Want to see section
was 39%, and that was about right. That was about right.
Oh, remember when we saw Deadpool 2?
Yes.
like this theater was a little scarce, but then when we walked outside, there was a big line.
Yeah, there was a big old line because
to
they
the
were waiting
door.
to see the 9 o'clock show.
Because we watched the earlier showing, and
we
there
walked
was
out
like
of this one.
no one was in
Like,
line.
there was 2 people in line.
No one was in line.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the next showing is what we mean. So it's like it wasn't just that we were watching the earlier showing; it was also just that literally
Nobody wanted to see it.
no one cares. So I think we should just tell y'all to save your money.
Don't go pirate this.
It was
Actually pirate this movie.
If you're that curious about it,
Okay?
Wait until it
Go
comes
ahead
out.
and
Do what Han would do and just smuggle this.
Just steal it.
be a true Han Solo and
Exactly.
steal this and make fun of it.
Because Alden couldn't be
Watch
bought
it with your friends and tear it apart. Just
Or if you don't like pirating, just wait. It'll be on something.
It'll be on TV for some reason.
It'll be on Netflix.
eventually.
Yeah, Netflix.
And people may watch it on a Tuesday night.
It's don't.
You don't need to watch it.
You don't need to watch
You're
it.
not going to get anything out of this new character. This new direction is very sloppy, very clunky.
If you don't watch this movie, you will miss nothing.
Yeah.
You will miss absolutely nothing.
Except
Right, before
about
we
2.5 hours of your life.
Yeah,
Yes.
that part of your life won't come back. But we're getting a review out of it. So last final challenge.
It was worse than episode.
What's the best part of this movie?
No, I refuse.
the death of the
Death of
SJW
L3?
L3.
Was there anything non-ironically enjoyable? In the slightest.
The death.
That's
the death-
ironically enjoyable. Like. That's all I mean.
The movie looked good. It looked good.
Yeah, I thought CG production was pretty good.
The effects were good. I like the effects. The music, of course. The
Music was
always,
okay.
I can't remember anything from it, but it was good.
I recognized the old Star Wars
Yes,
themes. That was
they
it.
played it once or twice.
I played the Imperial March there.
Yeah, the
The
Imperials,
one war scene, they
that was
played the
their-
Imperial March
Yeah.
theme, and I was
no,
like,
no, when Han was looking at the sign to join the Empire, it's like, is that their theme music? The
that was a little
March?
too close to World
I was
War
like-
II. They were like, join the Empire to establish peace and justice, and it was like,
Okay, First Order. I mean, Third. I mean, Third Reich. Third Order.
well, you keep cutting back the dice, but it has no significance.
Yeah, this dice is like, okay, you have.
If he got it from something and it was a memory of something,
If his dad gave it to him, I'd be like, there you go.
It's a memory of his
father.
family.
Yeah.
but it wasn't. It was just dice.
Nope. Nope.
He could like drop it in a storm drain and be like, oh, dang it.
Oh, shoot.
It's like, I guess I'll have to get that out of one of those little things you put a quarter or two in and you just turn the knob.
A claw machine. Hey, I actually got something.
Woo!
Yeah.
I got some solo dice.
Just look hands at the Leia.
These were Han's. He got it at a Shakey's outside of Encino.
And Mark
Bought it
Hamill,
for a quarter.
Mark Hamill recreated it with his Force Ghost so that he could fake give it to Leia.
That's right.
And then when he turns out not to be there, the dice disappears, and she goes, "Oh, well, that was
so
me.
did the dice?
I thought I had the dice back."
Did the dice die with Han?
They're still on the Falcon, which was
That's right.
coincidentally in a different place at the same planet.
Yeah.
It was like, go get the dice in there.
Yeah, Leia, you're on the Falcon right now.
Because they literally show Leia with the dice, and they just disappear. It's
Yeah,
like-
and then Leia, she goes on the ship. Oh, there.
but she's dead, so they can't film that. It's over.
Well, they can film.
Stop
it.
hyping up the dice. They
They-
can't do that anymore. They can't. They said they're not going to use CG.
Okay, predictions.
You say Darth Maul.
Cyborg, old man Darth Maul.
Okay,
Episode
all I will
9
say
versus Ben Swallow.
is if Ben Swallow takes out his cross lightsaber to Cyborg Darth Maul with a dual lightsaber with a robo beard or something stupid.
No, it's robot legs. He's
And they-
Kratos beard. That's
And they're about to go into fighting, and then he literally just rips his shirt
yeah.
off. And then he puts on his old mask. It's
He
like-
just calls Kylo boy the entire time.
And yeah, and he just... What do you think he'll see if I do? Then I'll love 9.
Oh,
But that won't happen. It'll be about how Rey is the best.
I doubt it's gonna happen, but if it does, I'll be
Rey's gonna kill everything and everyone is a bad person.
Ray
with
Ray will continue her Mary Soonest.
Yes. So don't watch Solo.
Don't watch.
It's not worth it. I think it's just as bad as Last Jedi, but in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
So
It is far more disappointing than The Last Jedi.
I would rather
I would
pass
say
a
Last
kidney
Jedi is
stone.
Okay.
because I had hopes for Last Jedi. I had little hopes.
Okay,
For it.
that's true. That's true.
Anyway, thanks for watching. Let us know if you liked it and how you liked it, because I need to learn how to be like you. Because I can't enjoy these movies.
No.
Make these kinds of decisions.
Like your cousin said before, it's like I wish I was dumb so I could learn, so I could like these movies.
I wish I was stupid enough to enjoy this. But explain to us why you enjoyed it if you did.
If
in the
you
comment.
can. Then...
May God have mercy on Ron Howard's soul.
Bye, everyone.
I'm gonna check Twitter
Bye.
to see who was paid to like this movie.
Bye-bye.